Howdy! How's all my friends in YouTube land today? Hope this finds you keeping warm. We're skating on through winter here. Today's project is going to be burning some letters onto a key fob with the wood burner. You can get sets of letters for your wood burner. And just as I've always told you, with your wood burner, when you're going to change the bits out, this shaft on the wood burner is very, very hot. So you're going to want to use a pair of pliers to remove the bit while that shaft is still hot on there, because your bit's going to be hot too. You're going to want to put the bit in something either metal or glass so that it doesn't melt or burn whatever you put it into. All right. Let it cool down before you try to handle it. Then you take your pliers and you attach your next bit onto your shaft. Don't touch that shaft because it's hot. I always turn the wood burner off in between changing the letters, but it is still hot. That metal retains the heat for a long time. Once you get your new letter placed, screwed into the shaft, then you turn your wood burner back on, set your regulator at whatever temperature you want to set it at, and let it heat back up to put your next letter on. Now, I always test my letters. I've got a little test piece over here that I test letters on before I burn them. You want to make sure that your burner is good and hot before you try to put it on the piece that you're working on. And with you know, if it's not hot enough, you got to let it heat up a little bit more. If it's too hot, see over here with this R, this was way too hot. So I had to let the shaft on there and a bit cool down before I could put the R on the project I was working on. But this is just an example to show you how this works on this test piece. Now, my shaft was hot enough here and burnt the B in here, but when I went to put it on this one, it was just a little bit too hot because, you know, look at how it kind of flared out around the edges on it. I mean, it's okay, but it's a little hotter than I would have liked. So I'm putting my initials on this piece. And I put a little line down on here because I wanted to know where the widest point of my piece was. That's where I wanted my letters to go, just above that widest point. And I've decided that since I got the B on there just a little bit crooked, this is going, and it's for me, I'm going to do this G maybe a little bit differently just to kind of make them match up. But I want to test it out here on my leather first to see if I've got this hot enough. So I press it down and give it just a few seconds. And then I pull it back up. No, that is not near hot enough. I'm going to have to turn that regulator up just a little bit and give it a few more seconds here to heat up. But you can find these little wood burning kits, bits all over the internet, different places. I don't know. I may have got that set at Amazon for all I know. I buy a lot of different things from a lot of different places. But I'll put that back down there on that and test it again. Nope, still not hot enough. It's heating up though. So we're going to let it heat up just a little bit more here. Clear some of the stuff off of my screen. It's popping up here while we're waiting on that. There we go. Get some things into control. All right, now we'll try it again here and see where we're at. And I'll try to turn that up so that you can see that letter. Maybe get a little glare off of it. But you see, you know, they're just like any other letter, there's a top and a bottom to them. So you want to make sure that you get it placed so that you got the top at the top and the bottom at the bottom. There we go. Now see that looks real good on there. I like that. So we're going to move the test piece out the way and we're going to get it back over here. Now, this one, since I got that B just a little bit crooked and all that, I'm going to set the G down here just a little bit crooked and just below that, just a touch, about halfway below, just to make it match up. and then we pull it up. There we go. Now they match up. Now I left that on there maybe a second or two longer than I would have normally left it on there because I wanted the temperatures of the two to match on there. You didn't want the B on there to be real bold and the G to be real light. So I left it on there just a little bit more, make them match up, and I'm going to turn my burner off. I'm going to unplug it so we don't accidentally even knock it on. And I'm going to set it over here to the side to cool down, where the bit ain't going to touch nothing to melt anything while that cools off. Now, our next step on this one, I'm not going to paint that nor nothing. I like that just the way it is. That looks mighty fine. Now, we've got these little pieces to put the rivet in there. And, well, arthritis is still acting up. So I got cat paws. I'm working with cat paws. You stick it through that little hole. And I'm going to go ahead and put the key ring on there so I don't have to wrestle it. And then we push this on down over that, if we can get the arthritis to work with me just a touch. And then the cap will go on there just like that. And we have to whack that with a hammer. I've got it so it's stuck at the moment, but it's going to pop back off there unless I whack it. So now let's move some things around here just a little bit. Well, easy for me to say. Things want to slide. My stuff has the electric slide going on it. Well, it could give me just an ounce of cooperation with my arthritis. And I've got a little board down here that I use for my pounding. We'll set that right there like that on that board. And we'll get our little pounder hammer. Now these little hammers you can get at any hardware store. You can get them online, a lot of different places. And so you don't have to hear it pounding. I'm going to turn the volume off and you can just watch here for a second. And there it is. That's all there is to it. Put your initials on the little key fob. Now I do these, I can special do them for you. I try to get yours a little straighter than what I got mine. But yes, I can do these key fobs if you like a key fob. Ladies, the Valentine's Day is coming up. You need something to get your gentleman. You know, we can fix you up with one of these leather key fobs for him. You can put the keys to the new vehicle that you're buying him for Valentine's Day on there. He'd appreciate that. But I can put anything on there. I can put flowers on it. I can burn them. I can engrave them, you know, whatever it is you want me to do. But yes, I do these key fobs. So if you're interested in that, get in touch with me and we'll get you fixed up. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media so everybody gets to enjoy crafting. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. And with all that being said, I guess the only thing left to say is Brenda's Crafty. Be like Brenda.